can't even begin to tell y'all how long I've been doing art. Welcome and welcome back. For those who don't know me, I'm Ari and I am a visual artist and I just love to create. So I love to create art, I love to create sculptures, paintings, drawings. And I want to stay to the end of the video because I have some very juicy detailed things that you should avoid as you become an artist, or even if you already are an artist. Here's some things that you can still learn from and take away from this video and actually apply it to your art career, or even if it's not a career, even if it's just a hobby on the side. So stay tuned. Okay, so tip number one on things you should avoid when becoming an artist, or like I said, if you already are an artist, is stop comparing your art to other people's art. Like just cut it out as a whole and just cut the cord. Are your biggest critic. Like, you're the person that's the hardest on yourself when it comes to anything. It doesn't necessarily have to do with art, but like anything that you try to do or that you want to do, you always put a little bit of doubt in yourself. So you have to stop comparing yourself. You can't take your art and then put it up next to someone else's and say, oh, well, mine doesn't have this feature, or mine doesn't have that feature, it doesn't look like this. Because there's literally paintings that people have painted of like a square or a triangle, and people have found that to be so beautiful, so majestic. And it's like, to other people, it's basic, it's just a triangle, it's just a square. But to somebody else sees the beauty in it. They see a story behind that triangle. And like, many people don't get that. But as an artist, I think you start to understand like the concepts of, okay, where do people get this imagination to actually see something in probably like a red dot on a piece of paper? Like, you would be surprised. Like, it blows your mind, because it blows my mind daily. So you can't just think that, and I like to call it structured art. Like, you can't just think that like the portraits, the landscapes, the beautiful like fixated things, you can't think that that's what everyone wants. Like, people want that so-called that abstract art, that art that's just like people like, what made you that? I call it that art. Stop comparing your art to other people, because you might have something special that somebody wants. Like, somebody might want the type of art that you create, and that is what's unique about you, and that what's make you stand out. Always be unique, always be authentic, and never compare your artwork to anyone else's. Tip number two is avoid what other people say about you and your art. Avoid that letting define you. Like, don't let that define you. Don't let that shake you or break you. Just take it, understand, and just move on. Like I said, being in the art game, you kind of have to have thick skin. You kind of have to have tough skin, because not a lot of people will kind of go with the flow of your art. Not a lot of people will get it. Like, you may have a story about artwork, and it's gonna take maybe that special person or a certain type of group to really understand, like to have lived through something, and it's like, hey, I recognize that, or I recognize what they're trying to say. So don't let what one person says define your whole entire style, your whole entire art career, because 9 times out of 10 it's just it's criticism, it's critiquing, you know. And like, you have to be able to like brush that off, shake that off, and move on from there. Number 3 is, and this is one of my favorites, so hear me out, avoid throwing away old art. Wait, hear me out. Avoid throwing away old art, because you could always go back and use that as motivation. Like, when you're stuck in one of those art blocks and art ruts and stuff, you could go back and actually use old art. Like, I've done it several times, and it actually has helped me pull some memories on an art piece that I thought of and then didn't write down. It has actually helped me pull that back out. So it's really interesting to like see also where you've come from, like the drawings, what you used to do and how you used to paint. And as you progress, you see like, oh my goodness, I used to paint like this. Oh my goodness, I used to paint like that. Like, it's really interesting to see. So don't, hear me out, don't throw away your old art. but save it, put it to the side, because you could also, number one, is you could also go back and add something to that piece of art if it's not finished, or B, you could get inspiration from that art piece. Yeah, don't throw away old artwork, but actually keep it, because you could always go back and touch on it on a later date. Trust me. Okay, tip number 4 is avoid copying. And so when I say copying, I mean like you copy to the T. Copy the hair, like the picture looks the same from like top A to bottom Z, like color and everything. One thing that I advise is that if you see a picture or you get inspiration from something, I would take the key things that I see out of that picture and I would apply that to what I have in mind. So for instance, if I see a picture of a landscape that I really like and it's painted in the daytime, what I could do is flip it and reverse it and make it to where I could paint it in the nighttime. And that way I could add like maybe, okay, if it's painting in the nighttime, maybe I could set up like a little campfire perhaps, or put like a little tent, you know, put my own twist on it to where it's not where I just took this person's artwork and just completely made it into quote unquote my artwork. I actually just, you know, got inspiration from this person, and then I just added my own twist on it. I added my own little things, my own knickknacks. I drew myself or my family in the picture. So avoid copying. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And what are some things that you have avoided when you were becoming an artist? If you're an old artist, if you're just a new becoming artist, I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. Share those with me down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next video. Bye.